Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you and tell you how to tell if your air conditioner compressor is not working. I'll be going over some things to look for, some cues and signals, some signs and signals that will allow you to have a good clue that your air conditioner compressor is not working properly. Let's get right into the video. Now, just for a quick backstory, I had an air conditioner unit here before. The compressor went bad on it, and I ended up replacing the entire unit because cost-wise it made sense to do so. Okay, so in the process of replacing it, I learned a lot about what to look for to tell if your compressor is not working. Now, your compressor is basically the part of the air conditioner outside unit, so this is the unit outside of the home, that will send the refrigerant through the lines. Okay, so one of these lines is sending the refrigerant out and the other one is returning it back in. Okay, that's essentially what allows the air inside of your house to cool down. So if your air conditioner compressor is not working, your air conditioner in the house is not going to be functioning properly. The air won't be cold, and I'll get to that in a moment. But these are the four things to look for. The first is the sound. Now, a lot of people think that if the fan up here is spinning, the air conditioner unit is working, when in reality the fan is only half of what is supposed to be working out here. You have the fan, which is right over here. You see the fan blades right there. And then you have the air conditioner compressor, which is actually that little black thing there that these copper pipes are connected to, that these metal pipes and those wires right there are connected to, okay? So the first sign or signal, the first thing to look for, or listen for, I should say, is that it sounds different. Now, the fan has a very distinctive sound, and the compressor produces a distinctive sound when the compressor is moving the refrigerant and sort of cycling the refrigerant. So if you hear a fan but not an additional, almost like a humming sound, then that is a good sign that maybe your compressor is not working, and you can look into it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need a new compressor. You might need a new capacitor. There's many different things, but definitely something that you should look into if you hear a different sound, okay? Like I said, the fan makes almost like a spinning sound of wind, and the compressor makes sometimes it's a different sound. It's like I define it as a humming sound. So if you are missing that extra compressor sound, that's the first thing to look for. The second thing to feel for is if you put your hand when the fan is spinning and the compressor is running, if it's running properly, if you put your hand, where the air is blowing, you should feel warm air. And that's because essentially the air conditioner unit is taking the warm air from your house and kind of moving it out here. Not directly like that, but that's the best way to think about it. The air that should be coming out from here is warm, okay? Because it's cooling the air in your house, and therefore the air that's coming out of here is going to be warm. It's not physically taking the air from your house, but that's the best way to think about it, okay? So if you feel the air coming out of here is warm, fairly warm, then your air conditioner compressor is likely working. But if the air that's coming out of here is just like regular ambient temperature, not really warmer than usual, if it's no different than the air around you, then that is a good sign that your compressor is not functioning properly or efficiently, okay? So that's the second thing, the warm air that you should be feeling. If it's not warm, if the air is not warm, outside here, this is outside the home, then definitely look into it. The third thing that you should feel for is the actual refrigerant line piping, okay? So what you want to do, if you take a look here, like I said, you have a thinner line and a thicker line, okay? Basically, that's the easiest way to think about it. Now, the thicker line over here, if your air conditioner compressor is working properly, when it's running, so when the fan's spinning and when your air conditioner is supposedly running, you want to just go ahead and just touch the pipe, and it should feel, this pipe over here should feel cold, okay? Because the refrigerant that's cycling through it will be cold. If this pipe feels just like ambient temperature, almost like a lukewarm temperature, an regular outdoor air temperature, then it is a sign that your compressor is not cycling the refrigerant. It's not working properly. So right now my air conditioner is not on, and if I touch this, it just feels sort of like lukewarm ambient temperature, okay? It should, if it's working properly, if your compressor is working properly, it should feel cold. So keep that in mind. If it doesn't feel cold, then there's probably some sort of problem because your compressor is not cycling that refrigerant, which is what ends up cooling down the refrigerant. When you move the gas, the refrigerant, it cools down. Okay, that's the idea. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but this is essentially what I've learned. And the fourth and final thing to look for is you have air blowing inside of your house through the vents, but the air is not cooling down. So if the air conditioner is running, so the fan is running and your thermostat says that the air conditioner is running, and you have air blowing through your vents, your registers inside your house, but the air is not cold, the air is not cooling down through those registers, then it's a good sign that, you know, that something is going on where your refrigerant is not cycling and it's not cooling the air. So it's, you know, it could be your compressor or part of your compressor. So like I said, if your compressor is not working properly, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need a whole new compressor, because that can be an expensive repair. There can be many different things that can be the cause of that. In my case, my compressor was gone. We did a few, I had a family friend that came in that deals with HVAC, and he did a few tests and figured out that essentially the compressor was not functioning, and I needed a new compressor. We ran the prices, and it just worked out that the air conditioner, the old one, was already old enough that it made sense to just get a new unit. So this is my new unit, and that's basically it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.